You will never be above my child, bastard child.
Someone is burying me and I'm still alive! Help me!
When my father died, the entire village cried with us. Women beat their chests, men lowered their heads, drums spoke grief into the night. But the loudest cry came from my stepmother. "My husband!" she screamed, throwing herself on the ground. "Who will take care of these children now?" She held me tightly afterward. "From today, Amanda," she whispered, stroking my hair, "I am your mother." I believed her. Everyone did. She defended me fiercely. When women whispered that she loved me more than her own daughter, she replied sharply, "Is love measured by blood?" Amara, my stepsister, stood beside us always. We were inseparable. At night, we lay on the same mat. "Promise me," Amara said one night, staring at the ceiling, "that no matter what happens, you will never leave me behind." "I promise," I replied. I didn't know promises could rot. As we grew older, eyes began to follow me. I didn't chase attention, it found me. Suitors came. My stepmother welcomed them warmly. "Sit, my son," she would say kindly. "Eat, drink, get to know my daughter." She praised me openly. "She is calm, she fears God, she will make a good wife." But after those men left, they never returned. One day, I saw one of them at the market. "Brother," I called. He turned, looked at me and recoiled. "Stay away from me," he said sharply. "You deceived me." "Deceived you how?" I asked, my voice shaking. He spat on the ground and walked away. I cried that night. My stepmother held me. "People are strange," she said gently. "Do not worry, your husband will find you." Amara hugged me too, but I felt her heartbeat racing. The whispers started quietly. "She sleeps around. She goes out at night. She is cursed." One afternoon, I confronted Amara. "People are saying terrible things about me." She widened her eyes. "Who would say that?" she asked softly. Maybe they are jealous." That night, I overheard my stepmother speaking to her. "Patience," she said in a low voice. "Things are working." "What if she still rises?" Amara asked. There was silence. Then my stepmother said, "She won't." I was returning from the stream when shadows moved. Hands grabbed me. I screamed. One man laughed. "Do it quickly," another said. "We were paid well." Just when I thought my life had ended, a voice thundered, "Leave her!" A man fought them off, strong, fearless, righteous. Afterward, he knelt beside me. "My name is Obi," he said softly. "You're safe now." I didn't know then that destiny had just stepped into my life. Obi stayed. He listened. "I don't care what people say," he told me one evening. "I believe what I see." When he came to ask for my hand, my stepmother cried tears of joy. "I prayed for this," she said loudly. "God has finally answered me." She hugged me tightly. But when she turned away, her face hardened. The kingdom announced the prince's wife selection ceremony. The village buzzed. At the palace, maidens lined up. Then the prince stepped forward and removed his crown. Gasps! It was Obi. "I choose her," he said, pointing at me. Amara screamed and ran. After the ceremony, I began to fall sick, violently. I screamed at night. "I see myself buried," I cried. "Someone is calling my name." One night I screamed in my sleep and woke up clawing the air. "They are burying me," I cried. "Someone is calling my name underground." The palace was thrown into chaos. Midwives rushed in. Palace guards stood confused. The prince held me tightly as my body shook violently. "My wife is dying," he said, his voice breaking. "Find out why." 3 elders were summoned, men whose eyes had seen both the living and the dead. One of them, old and bent with age, placed his palm on my chest and closed his eyes. He gasped. "This sickness is fed," he whispered. Someone is giving her death little by little. Another elder added quietly, and the person has access to her often. That sentence fell like thunder. The prince stood up sharply. Access? He repeated. Who touches my wife freely? The elders exchanged looks. Family, one finally said. That night, guards quietly summoned a young palace servant, one who had once served in my stepmother's house. She trembled so badly she could not stand. I didn't want to talk, she sobbed. She said if I spoke, I would die. Who said? The prince asked calmly. The girl swallowed hard. My madam. Silence filled the room. What did she send you to do? An elder pressed. The servant fell to her knees. She sent me at night, always at night, into the forest. With what? The prince demanded. The girl opened her wrapper with shaking hands. Inside were burnt hair, torn cloth, and red-stained cowries. They belong to the queen, she cried. She told me never to look back when I dropped them. The elders stood. We follow her, one said. That same night, the moon hung low and red. The elders and guards followed my stepmother from a distance as she left her house silently, wrapped in black cloth. She did not look like a grieving mother. She walked like someone who knew exactly where she was going. They followed her past the last hut, past the farms, into the forbidden forest. One guard whispered, "May the ancestors forgive what we are about to see." The shrine was alive. Fire burned without wood. The smell of blood and bitter leaves filled the air. Bones hung from trees, clinking softly like whispers. My stepmother stepped forward. Her voice changed. No sweetness, no softness. "Why is she still breathing?" she snapped. The chief priest trembled. "She is protected now. The crown shields her." My stepmother laughed, a dry, cruel sound. "Protection fades," she hissed. "Tonight we finish it." She placed a calabash on the ground. Inside it was my name carved backward, smeared with blood. The elders gasped. "She fed her destiny to the ground," one whispered. Before the priest could respond, a voice thundered, "Enough!" Torches flared. The guard stepped forward. My stepmother spun around. For a moment, fear crossed her face. Then she smiled. "So, you finally followed me," she said calmly. "Why?" the prince asked, stepping forward. "Why destroy the one you called your daughter?" She laughed again. "Because she was never my daughter. She was a threat." The elders demanded truth, and the truth poured out like poison. "She was destined to rise," my stepmother said bitterly. "The priest told me her star would swallow my child's." She turned toward Amara, who had followed secretly and now stood frozen. "I did this for you," she said, "for you to shine." Amara fell to her knees screaming, "I never asked for death. I only wanted to be seen." The chief priest shook violently. "You ignored my warning. You tied a crowned destiny." My stepmother's face finally cracked. I smiled every day so she wouldn't suspect. I hugged her while sharpening the knife. Thunder rolled. The elders raised their staffs. "Command, reverse it." The priest screamed as the shrine shook. Fire leapt high. The calabash split open. Back at the palace, I gasped for breath. The sickness lifted. At the shrine, Amara collapsed. "My chest," she screamed. The elder spoke calmly. "The pit you dug has opened." My stepmother dropped to the ground, her voice suddenly small. "I just didn't want her above us." The prince turned away. "You could have chosen love. You chose destruction." That night, I learned the hardest truth of all. Some people don't hate you because you are evil. They hate you because your destiny refuses to kneel. Moral lessons. 1. Not everyone who calls you my child wishes you well. Love is proven by actions, not words. Some people hide hatred behind kindness and wait for the right moment to strike. 2. Evil grows stronger in silence. The stepmother thrived because no one questioned the strange signs. When wrong is ignored, it multiplies. 3. Envy can turn family into enemies. Jealousy does not need strangers. It feeds best among those closest to us and destroys without warning. 4. The truth may hide, but it never dies. No matter how long evil is concealed, it leaves traces. Darkness always exposes itself in time. 5. Innocence attracts both destiny and danger. Amanda's purity made her favored, but it also made her a target. Not all attacks come from outside. 6. Power gained through wickedness demands a painful price. What is built on sacrifice and blood never lasts. Evil always collects its debt. 7. Intuition is a warning, not fear. Amanda's dreams and sickness were signs. Ignoring inner warnings can be deadly. 8. Justice may delay, but it never forgets. The stepmother's fall proves one thing: time does not protect the guilty, only the truth.